Hi, I'm Mary Lou. You know, living and eating healthy doesn't have to be complicated or perfect. If you've seen my channel before, you'll know that the reason I make these videos is to share my experience with keeping cooking and eating plant-based as easy as possible. Because in the past, when I watched cooking shows on TV or on YouTube, I was often a little intimidated because things always look so perfect on a video, right? And I don't have a perfect kitchen. My tools are not perfect. My pans don't match, and my cupboards are old. But I've been successful in cooking and eating plant-based and getting healthier. Not complicated, not perfect, but healthier nonetheless. In this video today, I'll be sharing a supper that I put together ahead of time in just a half an hour, so that when I came home at the end of the day, I could just pop it in the oven. There'll be two recipe ideas here: sweet potatoes and some white beans, which are staples in my kitchen every week. You'll be able to read both of the recipes in the section below, and please leave your comments or ideas or questions there. I love to hear from you. So you'll notice when I open my refrigerator that it is pretty close to empty. This doesn't happen very often because my husband is Italian and he does the shopping. Not a whole lot to work with, but I'll show you what I did. The salad that I had some lettuce. I added some fresh spinach to it. I chopped up some celery that I had in there, and I took a carrot and I just peeled it and put the peels in there. Give it a little color. Beets in a can. They work great in a salad, let me tell you. These beets add beautiful color and sweetness to the salad. I'm adding some low-sodium pitted olives, and there it is. The salad took me 5 minutes to put together, and I will cover it, put it in the fridge, and it will be ready for supper tonight when I get home. I have 4 sweet potatoes. I don't have time to peel them, so I'm going to just scrub them up quick, and I'm going to slice them a little bit like potato chips. I use this little yellow scrubby for all my vegetables. I keep it handy by the sink and change it out every couple of weeks or so. I'm going to slice these about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch thick, so they look like a potato chip. Sometimes these potatoes can be very difficult to cut because they're so round, but if you cut them in half and make a flat surface, they're so much easier to work with. That's true for any vegetable you're working with. Cut it so it has a flat surface, and away you go. This one has a natural flat surface, so it's much easier to hold in place and cut. I'm going to put some fresh parsley in here, and of course some ground pepper, salt, and I'm adding some chili powder to spice it up a bit. I'm going to use my olive oil spray and just use a minimal amount to coat it and help the herbs and spices to stick to the potatoes. You don't need much, especially if you're going heart healthy. I'm using these pans, laying down some parchment paper. They don't exactly match, but they work. I'll lay them out flat, and I'm going to put these in a hot oven, about 400 degrees when the time comes. But I'm lining them now with just a little bit of wax paper so I can store them in the refrigerator until I'm ready to cook them tonight when I get home. One more thing I'm going to do is cook up some beans. I'm going to use just this little tub of beans. Enough for me and John to just beef up those potatoes a little bit. Cooking up a batch of beans and freezing them is really handy for saving money on cans. I'm adding some leftover onion, a 1/4 teaspoon of tarragon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. This makes a great flavor. I'm going to set this pan to the back of the stove until I get home this afternoon, and then I'll cook it. So far, I've spent 5 minutes on a salad. It's Spent about 15 minutes on cutting up the potatoes, getting them on the pan, but they're all in the fridge and ready to go straight into the oven when the time comes. And I spent about 5 minutes on the beans. Everything is ready to cook. So now I have an hour or so to go for a walk with my friend and do a couple of other things. Then when I come home, just turn on the oven. I'm cooking the sweet potatoes in a hot oven of 400, checking them after about 30 minutes. They usually take about 45 minutes to be soft. Just poke them with a fork and you can tell if they're done or not. I'll show you more about these potatoes later. For now, I've started the beans. I've added some oat milk. You can use vegetable broth or a little of both. But as I heat them up, they get nice and creamy, and that tarragon gives them a nice sweet flavor. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Just put them in a bowl and voila. The potatoes have been cooking for about 45 minutes total. They're nice and tender when I poke them with a fork. I'm using the parchment paper to wrap them up into 2 little packages. They stay nice and hot this way, and they steam a bit so they don't get dried out. And I'll put them right in the serving dish. And when it comes time to eat, I'll just unwrap them and dump them right into the serving dish. The potatoes are still nice and hot now that I'm ready to serve them. And my beans are nice and hot and creamy, and I have a nice cold salad to go with it. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up. This helps others to find my channel. And if you like my channel, please subscribe so that you'll get notified when I post other videos. Thanks for watching.